Barcelona went to Prague looking for more than just 3 points. This was about identity, about proving that Hansi Flick's Barça can suffer, survive, and still play beautiful football. In a freezing Champions League night at the Fortuna Arena, Barcelona beat Slavia Prague for 2-2 in a chaotic, emotional game. But the night that should have been all about Joe turned into worrying, as Pedri limped off injured and Lamine Yamal was missing through suspension. Let's start with the lineups, because they already told a big part of the story. Hansi Flick went with a 4-3-1. Joan Garcia in goal, Count, Eric Garcia, Gerard Martin and Balde in the back four, Frenkie de Jong and Pedri as the double pivot, and ahead of them Rooney Bargi, Fermin Lopez, Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski up front. This is a very technical, very attacking Barça, designed to control the ball and overload the half spaces. On the other side, Slavia Prague lined up with Stanek in goal and a physical, aggressive team built around Corey up top, with Prevot and Kusic trying to hurt Barça on the break. Flick had to deal with a long list of absences: Christensen, Gavi and Ferran Torres all out injured, and Lamine Yamal suspended after his yellow card accumulation. That meant all eyes were on Pedri to be the creative brain of this team. In the first half, Barça did what Barça is supposed to do: dominate the ball, slow the game down, and make Slavia chase shadows. Pedri and Frenkie controlled the rhythm, with Pedri constantly dropping between the lines, receiving under pressure, turning and connecting with Fermin and Rooney in the half spaces. You could really feel that this is Flick's idea of Barcelona: high line, aggressive counter-press, and a lot of freedom for the attacking midfielders. But Slavia Prague are not tourists in Europe. Every time Barça lost the ball, Slavia tried to hit direct and early, looking for Corey and the wings. That's how the game became wild. Barcelona created chances, but Slavia always felt one long ball away from punishing the high defensive line. This is the trade-off of a brave, attacking Barça. You get the magic, but you also live with the risk. This game had goals, drama and chaos, but instead of doing a minute-by-minute highlight, let's talk about the types of goals that defined it. Barcelona's attacking structure worked: Lewandowski's positioning inside the box, Rafinha attacking the far post, and Fermin Lopez arriving late from midfield were too much for Slavia to handle. The 4-2 scoreline wasn't a coincidence. It was the result of wave after wave of pressure. One of the key patterns was how Barça created superiority on the right side. Rooney, Bargi and Count combined to drag defenders out, Fermin attacked the vacant space, and Lewandowski occupied the central defenders. Even without Lamine Yamal, Barcelona found width and creativity, proving that this squad has depth and multiple ways to hurt you. But then came the moment that changed the mood of the night: Pedri's injury. In the second half, after feeling discomfort in his right leg, Pedri went down, clearly in pain. Moments later, he had to leave the pitch, and the initial reports say it is a hamstring injury that could keep him out for around a month. For a player who already suffered several muscle issues in recent seasons, this is a huge emotional blow for him and for the fans. When Pedri walked off, the whole game felt different. Barça were still winning, still in control on the scoreboard, but you could see the concern on his teammates' faces. Flick had to bring on fresh legs and adjust the midfield, with more responsibility falling on Frenkie de Jong and the attacking line to manage the tempo without their main maestro. And remember, this performance came without Lamine Yamal. The number 10 was suspended for this game, so Barça went to a very tough away match without their most electric winger. That's why Rooney Bargi's performance was so important. He had to step into that creative role on the right and show that this team doesn't depend on just one teenager to break lines. In a way, this match showed both the beauty and the fragility of Barca's project. On one hand, the club has built a squad where even if Lamine Yamal is missing, there are still players like Rafinha, Rooney and Ferman who can decide a Champions League night. On the other hand, whenever Pedri goes down, the entire structure feels more vulnerable, because there are not many players on the planet who can do what he does between the lines. After the game, Hansi Flick's message was very clear. Barcelona suffer, but they deserved this win. He praised the team's mentality in a complicated away stadium, and he highlighted how players stepped up in difficult circumstances. For a coach who is still building his version of Barça, nights like this are gold. You get the result, you get the character, and you also get lessons to fix in training. Flick also knows that Pedri's injury and the long list of absences will test the squad in the next month. The Champions League phase continues, La Liga is tight, and every game matters. This is where depth, youngsters and tactical flexibility become essential. For fans, though, one thing is obvious: this Barça, with all its flaws, is fun again. It's a team that attacks, that takes risks, and that gives you reasons to believe in big European nights once more. So, what did this 4-2 win in Prague really tell us? That Barcelona can still play joyful, attacking football, even in a hostile away ground. But also that the team's heart beats to the rhythm of Pedri's legs. Now the question is simple: can Flick's Barça keep this level without him? And what will Lamine Yamal bring when he's back from suspension? If you are a Barça fan, this game felt like a roller coaster: goals, uncertainty, happiness and fear, all in 90 minutes. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How worried are you about Pedri's injury from 1 to 10? And do you trust this squad to keep winning big Champions League games without Lamine Yamal on the pitch? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more Barça content, and as always, Visca el Barça.